Alright, welcome back to the JLU 0.0 refresher build. I guess this will be part 6, which is hopefully the last and final big push here to finish this guy up. So let's just start real quick. We talked about the end of the last build. I mentioned that I didn't plan for inner fenders on this build because of these metal kick sliders. You can see, obviously there's a conflict there in the middle. But I went ahead and picked some up and decided to slice and dice here. So I cut it in half. I've got a rear portion and a front portion that install. And then it actually worked out really nicely. You can see there's kind of a frame leg on that rear piece that's able to mount behind the slider. So it's right up into the slider where it mounts. And then there's a small piece on the front that kind of does the same. And then I just, cut the bottom pan as close as I could, but you almost get a continuous fender look there. You can kind of see the other side. You can see those gaps behind the slider there, so that's what I was kind of running those frame sections, up into, filling those gaps along the frame rail. So that came out super clean. So I'm gonna get this one cut up now. It should go pretty quick now that I know the fitment. And then I've got my bang gear tail light off. I'm going to cut out this center chunk and shave these buckets down a little bit, the depth, and double side those in just to get more room in the back and less plastic. And one other thing I was looking at here, you can notice I took out all the electronics because I'm going to redo the location of everything now that I've got so much more real estate to be able to mount things, which is going to come in handy when I get to my lighting here shortly. But in looking at this, I received my Furitek Komodo motors and mounts and pinions a week or so ago, and they don't have this big long run to bullet connectors where then you have to plug in the Furitek harness, which then plugs into the Lizard. So I think I'm going to swap this Surpass for the Komodo because it will come right out and have the connector like this plastic one right off of the motor. So I'll get rid of all this unbendable bullet length here, all this bulk of wire. So that'll save me a lot of real estate under the hood here as far as mounting things. And the Komodo motor is black and accented in red, so that will go really nicely with this build as well. So I'm going to jump right in and start chopping up this fender and get it fit on the other side, and then probably look at maybe that motor install and how some of this wiring, at least the electronics, is going to sit, kind of plan for the lighting, and then jump into the lighting. Okay, well, as I was about to do that fender, I couldn't even get to that side without pulling out all those cables from the motor. So you can kind of see here, I've got this new Komodo out, which is the exact same size as the Surpass that's in there, but boy, it looks nice. Very pretty. Got the nice red accent. But you can see it's got thinner cables. So they're smaller, and then it's got this little connector here, so going to save a lot of wiring length and a lot of bulk of this first segment coming off the Surpass. So the next thing I want to look at here is the mount. Well, I guess that one might fit in there. Let's see what this guy looks like. So you get your pinion, and actually it comes with a Spur gear, which I've already got. So that's cool. Spur gear. Hot Racing's got the holes, this one's got the slots. I think it's the same tooth count. I'll probably just keep this one in. But the motor mount is quite a bit smaller. And boy, that's light. Some thin plastic. I did see that they came out with an aluminum one that acts as kind of a heat sink. But yeah, wow. Lot smaller mount here, so that may help me out too with space. So yeah, I'm gonna I think swap this whole Komodo assembly in and see what kind of space savings I get versus this big honking guy here. I want to show a quick comparison of the two motor mounts. You can see there how much bigger this gray one is with the big circle. And then you can see the adjustability you get with the Furitek versus the Gammy 2FM. This has kind of curved slots and it's got a hole. This one's got two vertical slots and then a big vertical slot for the pinion. So you've got a lot more room for larger pinion sizes. And then you can basically take that motor up and down and also rotate it a little bit as well. And then you can see kind of the cord length difference. And I went ahead and used the whole Komodo setup, Furitek setup. So I took out the hot racing spur, put in theirs. So I'm going to put in this whole new system, but I think I'm going to end up flipping the motor back around for the wires coming down here, or maybe the top, I don't know. This has a lot less bulky wires coming out of it, and they're stiff up to that connection point. Same as this, that connection out of here is pretty stiff. But anyways, that's kind of the differences. Oh, and one other thing I did notice on the pinion, this is a really long pinion that Furitek provides, and it has a set screw. I had to flip it around with the set screw to the outside. You can see there. I was rotating it and I could get almost a turn and then come back and almost a turn, and I was binding. I was hitting, the spur gear was hitting a little bit of that set screw. And you can only, if you flip that pinion around on the shaft, you can only go so far inward on the shaft before there's no more flat spot for that set screw to mount. So I had it pushed back as far as I could. That's why I had to flip it and put the set screw to the outside. But now it rotates freely. I've got a nice mesh there with a little bit of space. So everything seems to work well. I think I'm gonna take it back off and flip this mount, this cord to come out the bottom. But there we are, and that red accent is going to look nice with this black and red theme here. So anyways, all right, a little progress here. Got this kind of partially installed. So I got the motor and transmission in there. Just wanted to show kind of the difference here. You can see this motor mount centers it, whereas the Surpass kind of had it off to the left hand side. You can see where I had to clearance the frame for the Surpass bell. So this one you wouldn't have to. I did have to take off that ESC tray and clearance the right hand side more. So you can see there's just a little sliver left. And then I took a little more out of the front, but I didn't have to take that much. And then on the battery tray, I took off both of those little fins to give the pinion some clearance. Focus on them right there, but you can see that's clear now. So anyways, that's kind of the difference here. I had the wires clocked up this way. I tried to clock them down towards the driver's side, but this bolt wouldn't align, so I clocked them down towards the passenger side, which I think is going to be perfect. Because of this bolt head, I think I can run them right here under the receiver. So I think I'm going to do like my other build and tuck the receiver right here. So then I can bring this cable back up and hopefully have the lizard somewhere over here, have my Club 5 switch, and then I'm going to have some extra splitters for lighting. So I've got these splitter blocks here. So those can mount over on this driver's side. So switch and then splitters and ESC and lizard over here. Hopefully that will all fit nicely. So I'll see if I can get this somewhat back together, but dang, that's a pretty motor. I'm really glad I swapped it in with the black and red here. This is gonna look nice. All right, a little progress here. Got these fenders back installed with the kick sliders, and man, that worked out awesome. I mean, basically get a full fender liner set with the metal sliders in the middle. So next step, I need to get all my electronics, get them in this footprint, give them a home, and then I'll kind of strategize my light wiring routing and get onto that. Alright, back with a little update here. Got the electronics in, everything is functional, everything is situated. Very happy with this Furitek Komodo motor. It's just super smooth. It might even be smoother than the Surpass. Same insane slow ability. Wow. And it's pretty with the red housing. So it goes well with this build. So anyways, let me open this up and give you a little bit of a peek of how I situated everything. Just take this guy off. So right now I've got the driver's side set up for lighting. So you see I've got the two 5-way Club 5 splitter blocks, and then the 2-way Club 5 auxiliary switch. And then you can see my height there with my front mount. So I'm keeping everything low. And then that Komodo motor, since it's centered, there's really no way for me to fit the ESC or the receiver here anyways. So all of this side is basically the brains, the passenger side. So the lizard lays flat, and then the receiver tucks in under the battery tray sitting on top of the lizard. And then the motor connection comes, from the lizard, doubles back, and I've got that double-sided. And then this literal pigtail is coming from the motor, so that goes right here. And then I've got the Bluetooth double-sided to the fender. Batteries tucked over here, and I've got all the servo front and rear slack here. That's the Club 5 switch. It actually goes under the battery tray. You can see it here. It routes back under, and then I've got this one tucked under and coming around here to plug in. So trying to make as much space over here for all the plugs that are going to be coming out for the LEDs. But that's where it sits right now. So it should be fine for that interior tray to sit across there. Now the hurdle that I am trying to overcome now is the front lights. They don't seem to be fitting in these little cutouts here. They're fairly large. I went ahead and got this glued in, this front mount for the front lights. So I had to cut that in half so I could kind of space it wider to center on the lights better. And I also cut off kind of the bottom connector piece. And then I got that shoe gate in, and then I also got the magnets in. And you can see I've got an extra magnet there. I doubled that up just now to give me some height, thinking if I can raise this up, then I can maybe raise it up and clear this. But you can see here, these are the lights I'm dealing with. So basically a high and a low beam, and it's a fairly large, bucket. It's not super heavy, but with all the, cords, it's a fairly weighty thing, and it's got a manual switch, and I'm going to cut all that stuff off. But I think I'm still going to basically have to run, one of these down each side to the rear, and then connect those, and then take them to the plug. So it's still quite a bit of wiring. So it's really getting this to kind of fit. That's what I want it to do right there. So I'm trying to raise maybe the body up by a magnet width to maybe help clear that once that plugs in, but it's really hard to tell without actually having these glued into place in those light buckets, because they want to pop out. So it's really hard to see like what's really happening. So I'm going to come back to these last and just cross my fingers I can get all that to work. Okay, I'm sure I can. I could always cut out this little piece here, and you just see, you know, the bottom side of that light into that fender, which is fine. And you can see there in the background, I've got another cage here. The plan was to do kind of an Exocage on this one, and I really wasn't planning lights, but why not? So I kind of expanded to do some lights. I think I'm going to use the KC light covers on these. So that's going to be more lighting. So anyways, I'm going to keep pushing forward here. But there's progress. It's just slow. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of fitting and kind of refitting and just trying to take advantage of as much space as I can efficiently. But here we go. Well, once again, anything I can do to delay wiring tiny LEDs and routing a bunch of wire. I got the Exocage on there, and I think that looks sweet. Went ahead and dry fitted the light bar onto it, just get a sense of that. And of course I showed you the guts of it earlier. Everything is tucked in and ready to go, ready for the lights. But since I'm going to have to shoe those headlights, and that'll take some dry time, and I'm just kind of running out of time today, I think I'm going to put a pin in it, and I think in the interest of brevity for this build session, since I ended up doing the motor, which I wasn't planning on, I will stop this one and hopefully get the lighting and everything, the last little details, the mirrors and whatnot, on there this week, and then I'll post a reveal video and then kind of talk about the last little bits that I did on the lighting in that video. So anyways, chew on this, and I promise this thing will have some lights soon. Thanks for watching.